Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining for the session of Azure Power Lunch. As you know, we record these calls and place those recordings on our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be recorded, you may want to drop off now. And today's topic that we're going to talk about is Sidecar pattern on Linux App Service. So here is the quick agenda. We're going to talk briefly about what is the Sidecar pattern and then how that support is showing up in app service for Linux. Please feel free to ask questions, and it's going to be a demo filled session, so there's going to be mostly demo stuff there. With that, let's go on. And folks, I request if somebody is trying to join, please let them in. I'm not sure what's happening with this meeting. It used to allow everybody in, but something got changed. So please let everybody. Okay, what is sidecar pattern? So in when we are developing applications, especially microservices, I mean there are scenarios where you have your main application that is doing the main or the bulk of your task, and then there are certain activities or actions that you want to take that don't belong in the main application, but they are tied to it, certain set of tasks that you want to isolate from the main application. That's where you use sidecar pattern. So as you can see the picture, that's like kind of how you have the main thing, the bike, and then you have the sidecar, which is taking responsibility for logging, configuration, and things like that. Okay. So the sidecar containers, though it follows the lifetime of the main application, but you can update it separately. And you can have multiple sidecar containers as for that purpose. Okay. So just a bit more detail on the sidecar pattern. And by the way, this session is not an in-depth discussion into the sidecar pattern, but just a quick overview so we are all to make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay. So why you want to use a sidecar pattern? One of the reason is that your services are developed in a very heterogeneous way where they may be using different languages and framework. So maybe your main application is being developed using Node.js, and there are other teams which are working on components that are in developed in like .NET Core or Python or Java and things like that. And then you bring all of them together through this sidecar pattern. You have main application in Node.js and these sidecars running .NET Core, Java, Python, things like that. It may also be the case that these components are owned by different teams and different organizations, and wanna they don't want to put everything in one container. They want to maintain their own independence and keep that isolation. So in that case, that is another way of doing it. And also, let's say that what are some of the use cases or scenario? Let's say that you are calling you're doing logging, or you are accessing configuration. These are the tasks that are kind of not limited to a own application. So what you do is instead of like having that code in the main application, you isolate it, you put it in a sidecar container because it gives you the ability to update that container independently, make changes to it without making changes to the larger application. And at the same time, you can keep it um, uh, still attached to the application through the sidecar container. Got it? Any questions? So that's that. So what is the support that we are talking about? This support is currently in public preview. It is the app service now support the sidecar pattern. So basically, if you're running app service for Linux, and by the way, it's only available for Linux at this moment. If you're running app service for Linux, you can have sidecar up to 4 sidecar containers in the app. So you have a main application, and then you can have the sidecar containers. Okay. And the supported regions are listed here. this right now it's only available in these 6 regions. So you have to pick one of those to test this thing out. If this is, and just keep in mind, this is in public preview, so this is not for production use. So just we want to be careful about this. And at this moment, in this public preview, you have to enable this support at the time of app service creation. Okay, if you don't do that, you won't be able to turn it on. This may be just a preview thing, but this is something to be aware of. Okay, so the first demo that we're going to see, we have a Nginx web app. That web app is the main app, and then it is using 3 sidecar containers. And so basically each one is running a different framework, one a language. One is a .NET app, .NET Core, one is Node.js, one is Python, and you will see that you can call each of them through the main app, and we will take a look at it in a second. So this is kind of a quick example. And by the way, this I have kind of already deployed that stuff, and I will show it to you, and then we will go through another demo to show like how you can create it as a part of app service creation process. Okay, so let's jump right into the demo here. 1 second. Okay, so here is the So this is my web app. This is a Linux web app. And by the way, feel free to ask if you have any question. This is a Linux web app deployed in West Europe, and where you will see your sidecars. Go to the deployment center, and that's where you will see your main container. This is my main container, you know, uh, running Nginx. And this is the sidecar. And by the way, this sample is available as a part of the app service blog. So you can take a look at it. The link to the blog is there. So I'm not doing anything out of the box or anything. So all the steps that are outlined, please take a look. You can do it, but just want to show it to you. So this is, as you can see here, the three one containers on the sidecar: .NET Core, Node, and Python. So let's run this application. Let's see what happens. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on browse, and this is the default Nginx page. If you run this is Nginx. This is the page you're going to get. Okay. So let's do .NET Core. Okay. So you see now it is accessing the .NET Core sidecar and it's showing it. And by the way, there is some configuration that is being done as a part of the demo, which is making sure that whenever you hit that URL, it proxy that call to that particular sidecar container. Got it? Let's do the second one. Let's do Node.js. You see, welcome to Node.js app. So it's coming from Node.js. The code is executed and it's showing the Node.js. And the third one is Python. So let's do the Python one. And here we go. It's Python. So this is kind of a very simple example of how you can take advantage of it. Maybe you have some components that are um, written in um, Java, or maybe they are written in different languages. And what you do is you kind of bring them all together through this sidecar pattern. Okay. Any questions so far? So now let's go on and let's create a app from the scratch and add a sidecar container to it. And the scenario is that we have a Nginx app. We have the containers, and what we're going to do is we are going to enable logging for it using a sidecar containers. Open telemetry, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it. This is a open telemetry standard. We're going to run a sidecar container, which to which this node, this Nginx app will send telemetry, and that sidecar container will write that data to a App Insights workspace. Got it? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, okay, and we are going to go into the resource group. And first, we are going to create an App Insights workspace. So we're going to do application insights. So let's go in here and we are going to name it app as we see. Like, okay, so that's the name we have given, and let's create it. And it will take a second, to for it to be created. In the meantime, let's go into our resource group again and create a web app. Okay, so let's go in here and we type in web app. And now let's look at the web app. I just want to show you the sidecar thingy. That's why we're creating this web app. So we're gonna call it app SVC sidecar demo 02. Okay. So we just named this, and we say it's a container. It's a Linux container, and it's running in West Europe. Okay, so it's gonna pick up the plan that we already have. We don't have a database here, so let's not worry about it. Okay, that's important. You see sidecar support enabled, we have to enable it. Okay, the next thing is Azure Container Registry. I've already created it. By the way, once again, I'm following a demo that is in the walkthrough. So you have to do certain steps. It will create for you the container registry and deploy two images on it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use the main image, Nginx, and latest. That's it. And let's review and create. And it will create this thing. Let's give it a second. So this thing is going to be created. In the meantime, I'm going to go into the app insights and get the connection string of app insights because we have to send data to app insights. We have to have the connection string. Okay, so let's get the connection string. I copied it and let's go into the web app. It will take a minute for web app to be created. So let's wait to, I know it's sometime it's like watching the paint dry, but this is, I just want to show you end-to-end process. So let's see, how does that go? Okay, so it's created. Go to the resource. Okay, the resource is there. If I browse it, what it's going to show you, it will come up in a second. It will show you the Nginx uh, page. So it's here. What we're going to do first is in the configuration, we are going to add a new app setting for before we add the sidecar container for the app insights connection string. I know that you can enable app insights integration with a point and click, but this is just to show you that how we can, use sidecar container to get the same information. Okay, so as you can see, I'm updating it. It's going to take a second to update the web app. It's updated, and just to prove my point, it is not linked to app insights. Okay, I haven't turned on app insights yet. Okay, now the time to add the sidecar container. Okay, so let's go in here and I'm going to go in and add a sidecar container. It's going to ask me the name. I'm going to call it open tell. You can name it anything. So it's going to come from Azure Container Registry, and this is my registry. This is my collector image, latest, and the port. So why we need the port? Because Nginx sends this to a certain port, and in this case, the port is 4317. So this is the OpenTelemetry port. It's going to be sending. I'm going to apply it and save it. So now we have an Nginx container, which is sending telemetry data to a sidecar. We name it OpenTel. Basically, it's an telemetry collector, and that sidecar is sending this information uh, into a App Insights workspace. Okay, so let's go in here. This is my App Insights that I just created. As you can see, nothing is there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our web app and that we just created. Go to resource, and we are going to browse. Oh, come on. Okay, let me click on it. Okay, so I'm just hitting it a few times just to generate some traffic so we can see it. Okay, so now let's go back into here and let's refresh it, and you will start seeing some traffic showing up here. You see that? So initial traffic has shown up. So that's my point. That we don't have an integration, direct integration with app service and application insight. We are basically uh, using a sidecar container to do that type of integration, and making it that's what making it possible to to run it and to send all that data, the telemetry data from the app service. It goes into the sidecar container, and then sidecar container is sending this data into the app insights. Any questions, folks? So as you can see here, there's more traffic. You see 12 requests come in at this point, and different point in time, and then you have the server response time. All of that is showing up here. And I just want to show you a couple of blogs. Give me 1 second. So this is the blog that is definitely you need to take a look at. And this is what's talk about end to end. And this is the first application that we saw. How to set up. This is like, what areas is available. And this is how to set up the first application. It all talks about it. And then and then how to run it. And the point is that and the sample that is there, let me show you. Where did it go? Yes. So this is a sidecar sample. All the code is there. You can take the code, you can play with it as a starter and see how how kind of how it is working, and you can take advantage of it. But just keep that in mind. And just one other thing is, as far as I know, this sidecar support is only available for basic, standard, and premium. It's not available for the consumption version of app service. Okay, so that's that. So that's basically that's one of the things that I want to show you. And the second one is for the second demo. Let me show you where that tutorial is coming from. So this is the second one, and this goes over like how you set up the container, how you set up the resources, and all that stuff. So once again, you can go in and you can take a look at it, how this all of that is created, and that sample is also available in um, in here. For example, yes. So let's copy this from here. This is also available in GitHub for you to take a look. So you can go in and you can see all the images are there and Nginx hotel collector. So all of that information is there, what containers are deployed, and that's how you can take advantage of it and use it to um, get all you know use it for those samples. I know sidecar pattern is a very, I mean, can we can do a very in-depth discussion just on the sidecar pattern, and I think that is out of scope of the 30-minute session that we have. In the resources in the presentation, I have provided a link here to the Azure Architecture Center on sidecar patterns. So please take a look if you need to know more about it, and you can go for there. And at this moment, I think I'm going to open up for any questions. Feel free to ask. If you want to post in a chat window, I can, read it from there. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Azure App Service for Linux right now supports the sidecar pattern. As I said, at this moment, it is only supported for App Service for Linux. The supported SKU are basic, standard, and premium. Supported regions is not supported in all regions. These are regions at this moment while I'm speaking. These are the regions which are supported. You have to enable that support at the time of creation. You can attach 4 sidecars to the main container. Okay. And apart from all that, okay, here is my opinion on this new feature. And this is strictly my opinion. I think this is to give people the opportunity so they can, if as they are building application, they can make a decision should they go with uh, a platform as they are building microservices, should they go with a platform like Kubernetes, or are there other options available? Because just keep in mind, Kubernetes is a very powerful platform, but it's very complex and it's it takes some effort to maintain. And before this, the support for Sidecar was only available if you are running in, as far as I know, if you're running in AKS. So now, if you have a set of microservices, um, you can take advantage of app service for Linux. And you need sidecar. So let me take it back. If you need sidecar support and you have a set of microservices, you can think, okay, should I go with AKS? Do I need that complexity? Do I need the extra features that are there for my app? Or can I take it or look somewhere else like app service with sidecar support for my application, where I don't have to work on all that plumbing that are needed for AKS. Even though AKS simplifies Kubernetes setup and you can just with a point and click you can do it, but still there are a lot of knobs and buttons that you have to play with to make sure that you're running an optimum Kubernetes infrastructure. And in this case, I mean, it's kind of make it simple. It's hide all the details. You just need to run your microservice. So just gives, and this is strictly my opinion. I think this is just to give more option to the end consumers how they decide to run their microservices. Okay. So with that, one last call for any questions, comments, feedback. Okay. So if there are no questions, I hope everybody had a great weekend and have a great weekend and rest of their Friday. Hope to see everybody next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Navid.